Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, I had an idea from a vlogger that I am a big fan of, Jesse the Reader. I saw a video that he had done about naming 25 facts about himself. So, I thought I would do the same thing. So, here I go. 1. I'm a Taurus. I'm a bull. 2. My first memory of life is my sister's birthday. Her actual birthday. I was at an amusement park with my aunt, who was about 15 years older than me. I was 4, and she was about 14, 15. And my dad called her and said that my sister was being born, so we ran over to the hospital. 3. I've been out of the country only one time. I lived in Japan when I was 8, and that was a trippy experience. The weirdest part for me as an 8-year-old was the grocery store, seeing all the food and not knowing what it was or what we were buying or how much it was because of the different currency they use. So, 4. I've climbed 2 volcanoes. One was Diamond Head in Honolulu, Oahu, and the other one was a volcano in the Big Island. And my mom was having... My dad was actually trying to take a picture of her, and there was lava actually coming out of one of the rocks, and it was getting closer and closer to her foot, and she was telling my dad to take the picture before her foot melted off, and my sister fell on a few rocks and got 2 bloody knees, were her exact words. 5. I swam with sea turtles. There was like this little lagoon or water hole or whatever it's called at a hotel that my parents and sister and I had stayed at in Hawaii once, and there was this water hole that was 40 feet deep or something with sea turtles in it that you can just swim by yourself, and it was such a cool experience just to swim with those sea turtles and touch them and see them like that. It was beautiful. 6. My first concert was Christina Aguilera. I was 11 years old. It was when we were living in Hawaii. It was, when she first started out, and Genie in a Bottle was a big hit, so. My favorite food is eggs. That's number 7. 8. I'm a Marine brat. Here's my Marine shirt that I have. 9. I've sang the Phantom of the Opera when I was in chorus in high school, and apparently I sang it so well that my chorus teacher made me stand up and wear a hat and a cape, and he made me sing it, so that was kind of fun. 10. I'm Mexican American. I know it may not seem like it because I'm probably the whitest and pastiest man ever, but I am a Mexican American, but I can't speak Spanish to save my life, so. 11. I've been in about 12 plays in high school, and they were a lot of fun, and theater has been in my life since I was about 11 years old, and it's given me a lot of confidence over the years, so really grateful for it. 12. I was an extra on a TV show called One Tree Hill with Chad Michael Murray when I was 15. My mother, my sister, and I traveled an hour away to Wilmington, North Carolina, because we lived in Jacksonville at the time. and we were there for 9 hours, and it was a basketball court scene where we had to cheer and clap while they were filming a basketball game scene. And Sophia Bush was sitting right not next to us, but a few stands or rows above us, so we could see her a little bit, so that was cool. 13. My house caught on fire on July 4th. This was when I was 18 years old. This was like 10 years ago. When we had first moved to where we currently live in Florida, we had originally planned to buy this other house in another location, and we had everything settled, and we were painting the house, and the only thing that we didn't have is furniture, really. And one day I was spending the night at my grandmother's house, and she called or woke me up at 7 in the morning and said that my house was on fire and my dad was there. So we drove over to our house, and the interior of the house was on fire, and the fire department came, and it was a whole mess. But everything was okay, and everything works out for a reason, so. 14. My favorite Disney movie is The Lion King. It's true. I've watched The Lion King more times than I can say I've seen any other film in history. And I'm a huge movie buff, so. And I can't wait for the new live-action one coming out in July. Yeah. 15. I was on a bowling league in high school. That's true, and my best game ever was on Friday the 13th. Freaky. 16. My dog died when I was 16. It was during Thanksgiving holiday, and it wasn't on Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving weekend, and we had to take him to the vet and had to put him down. It was at 10 o'clock at night, and a pet cemetery was right across the street, so that's like the beginning of a Stephen King novel, isn't it? That was a really great day. 17. I listened to a Holocaust survivor at my college. His name is Alan J. Hall. That's true. His name is Alan J. Hall, and he grew up to be a lawyer, and his wife is a lawyer, and some of his children are lawyers. And it was just an incredible experience to sit in this auditorium with 300 other people listening to his story, and I made sure to remember everything that he had said, so I wrote down everything that he had said, the major bullet points, and I wrote them down in my journal that night so I wouldn't ever forget it. So yeah, that was pretty special. I mean, how often do you get to experience that? That was awesome. My best plays that I've done, I think, were Alice in Wonderland, A Christmas Carol, and The Secret Garden. I did all three of those plays in a School of Performance Arts program outside of high school, or outside of my theater class in high school. This was out in town, so. But yeah, I had a lot of fun doing those. 19, I went to Capitol Hill to lobby for Chiffre. Chiffre is the Congenital Heart Features Reauthorization Act, which basically gives awareness and education and funding and surveillance and data and research to congenital heart patients, and just let families of heart patients like myself and hospitals just be more aware of that we just need to bring this issue more into the forefront of everybody, and the medical advances that have now that we can provide for heart babies to have a normal adult life, because they're transitioning from pediatric care to adult care, and most heart babies and their families are not aware of the fact that there are adult cardiac centers, and there are a lot of them, and many don't know it, but it's true, there are. So make sure you get your heart checked. 20, my family lived through a tornado on my parents' anniversary. It's true. It was about 3 years ago. It was about 3 years ago now that the day before my parents' anniversary, a tornado came, through our house, but we were lucky that our house was completely intact. Our neighborhood was completely fine, but the neighborhood across the street from us, their houses were completely demolished. And then the next day was their anniversary, so we spent their anniversary walking around and seeing all of this rubble and destruction, and it was just horrible. 21, I called the cops when I was 5 years old by accident. Yeah, that was scary because I didn't know the concept of, law enforcement, and I thought I was going to get arrested for false reporting. I called the cops for no reason. 22, I cracked my head open into a wall, or when I hit a wall, when I was 5. It's true. I have a scar on my head over here. So, 23, a classmate of mine committed suicide 2 weeks before college graduation. That was a moment that, completely shocked all of us. My entire theater department, all my friends, my teachers, my principal, and faculty and staff, we were all just completely shocked by it. And she killed herself 2 weeks before college graduation and 4 days before the opening night of our production of A Christmas Carol. So we had to debate whether to cancel the show or recast her. And we ended up recasting her, so. But yeah, it was a really hard moment to come to terms with. 24, I have a heart condition. That's true. I am a single ventricle Fontan patient. I've had 5 heart surgeries, and back to when I was talking about going to Capitol Hill to lobby for Chiffre to bring more awareness and education and funding to congenital heart patients like myself, and that's why I have a heart condition. It's true. And again, there are a lot of adult cardiac centers in the world that heart babies and their families are not aware of to properly educate and help them transition from pediatric to adult care. So there are centers out there, so again, check your heart and tell your friends and family members too. And the last one is that I'm a published author. That's true. My book is called If My Heart Could Talk and Other Poems. It's a book of poetry detailing my experiences and observations of living with my heart condition. And I had a lot of fun writing it, and I really do hope you guys check it out. I'll leave a link to it below in the description. And, yeah, it was a labor of love, and it was really hard to write because I've never written poetry before. I've written stories my whole life since I was 12, but never poetry, so this is my first attempt at doing that. So hopefully you guys check it out and you enjoy it, and you get to hear a little bit about my story. So, alright, see you guys later. Make sure you subscribe and leave comments below, and see you later.